is no doubt the biggest competition in football. Every 4 years, teams from all around the world gather and compete for the golden trophy. While we had so many crazy World Cups in the past, this one will mark itself as one of the most exciting editions in history. Before diving into what happened during the competition, I'm gonna talk about the situation beforehand. While we had so many great teams entering the tournament, no one was a clear candidate, but some of them really stood out. I mean, just look at it. These guys could produce 4 World Cup winning teams, have all 4 of them meet at the semi-final and barely shatter to death for the trophy. But they have a curse to face, the infamous reigning champion curse. Also, they had some really key players injured. The Argentinian squad entered the tournament with the hopes of bringing the legend Messi, the missing piece of the puzzle, to end the GOAT debate for good. The same thing can be said for Portugal and Ronaldo, a golden generation with so much talent, trying to win the World Cup and put an incredible end for an incredible career of Ronaldo. Like every World Cup in the past, you can't just leave Brazil out of the candidate list. In my opinion, this group stage was and will be the most iconic group stage for a while in World Cup history. It started with a pretty disappointing performance from the Qatari hosts, losing 2-0 to Ecuador in a group where logic has been respected. Netherlands, with a completely different side from what we are used to, advancing on top of the group alongside a Senegalese squad without their superstar Sadio Mane. Group B wasn't much of a surprise either. England on top, and a sad ending for Iran, who needed a draw in their final clash against the US to advance, but the Americans managed to beat them and qualify second. Now to the fun part. If I tell you 1 month earlier that Saudi Arabia was gonna beat Argentina in the World Cup, you would chase me with a baseball bat. But they did. They beat the tournament favorites in a game where Argentina had 3 offside goals be cancelled, but they lost their next 2 games against Poland and Mexico and left the tournament. Other than that, Mexico failed to qualify for the round of 16 for the first time since a while, and Lewandowski scored his World Cup first goal, leading Poland to advance in the second place behind Argentina. This group is weird to say the least. Denmark, the dark horses of the 2020 Euros, entering the competition with so many of us betting on them to go as far as possible, but they managed to claim 1 point of a draw against Tunisia in the first match. Tunisia, on the other hand, managed to beat France, although some of you might say that France was already qualified and they played their second team. Still, it is still France, but it wasn't enough, as the Australians showed up after the huge loss in the first match against France and beat Tunisia and Denmark to advance in the second place behind France due to goal average. I mean, RIP those 10 minutes where Japan and Costa Rica were advancing and Spain and Germany were out. It will be remembered. But yeah, Japan with an incredible performance beat Spain and Germany, lost to Costa Rica, but that didn't stop them from securing first place. Spain, after their 7-0 victory against Costa Rica, they kinda called it a day and had a draw against a pretty disappointing German side and a loss against Japan, but that was enough to advance in second place. Germany, yeah, they failed to go past group stage. Again, pretty shocking from a 4 times world champion to say the least. Croatia, trying to replicate their incredible run in 2018, had a very tough opposition facing the Moroccans in a tight match ending 0. And Belgium barely winning the first game against Canada, whose participation for the first time in 1986. Up to this point, nothing is out of the ordinary. To round 2 and 3, Morocco beat Belgium and Canada, securing the top spot. Croatia second after demolishing the Canadians, forcing a draw against Belgium. And that is the final nail in the coffin for a generation filled with talent, but they didn't manage to win a single title for Belgium. Nothing out of the ordinary again in this group. A strong Brazil beating both Serbia and Switzerland, securing a ticket to the round of 16 even after their loss against Cameroon. Pretty disappointing performance from the Serbs, but that is somewhat expected after the drama they had. Switzerland second after beating Cameroon and Serbia and losing to Brazil. Group H, with all pals yet to meet again, but this time in the group stage. Portugal winning their first 2 matches and securing a spot in the next stage. Ghana, after losing their opening match against Portugal, had a redemption game and won against the South Koreans, who honestly looks pretty out of the tournament after a draw and a loss, but somehow they beat Portugal and qualified. Ghana lost to Uruguay after missing a penalty in similar fashion to the good old days, but that wasn't enough for Luis Suarez and his buddies to advance due to goal average. So technically Ghana got their revenge. This group stage was pretty insane. Almost every top team lost at least once. Some of them even failed to advance, and the ones who advanced had a fierce competition from the other teams, which indicated a very exciting knockout stage. But in the round of 16, it looked like time of surprises is over. Netherlands beating the US in a relaxed manner. Argentina beating Australia in a very close match where Lautaro Martinez almost pulled out an Higuain on us and his teammates. England in a very convincing win against Senegal. Mbappe scoring twice, leading France to beat Poland. Japan having the worst penalty shots against Croatia. Brazil scoring 4 goals in the first 40 minutes and deciding to dance for the rest of the game. Spain having somehow a worse penalty performance than Japan, not scoring a single shot. Portugal deciding to bench their legend Ronaldo, beating Switzerland Netherlands 6-1. In quarterfinals though, Croatia in traditional fashion beating Brazil in penalties after a 0-0 draw in 90 minutes and a 1-1 draw in extra time. Morocco with a very solid defense beating Portugal 1-0, becoming the first African team ever to reach the World Cup semi-final. France beating England in a very close high-level match after a penalty miss from Harry Kane. Argentina beating the Netherlands in penalties in an insane clash that ended 2-2 after extra time. It's worth mentioning that Messi officially entered his villain arc in this game. In semis, things got back to normal again. Argentina getting their revenge on Croatia, beating them 3-0 and advancing to the final, and the final chance for Messi to claim his missing title. Morocco putting up quite a battle that will go down in history as one of the most exciting storylines in the World Cup, but coming short against a strong France team. This final, in my opinion, is the best one we have seen so far. Disappointing 80 minutes from France and Argentina scoring 2 goals. It looked like the title was coming to Buenos Aires, but this man went Super Saiyan mode, scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes, completely flipping the table and forcing an extra time. After a back and forth 10 minutes, Messi scores again. I mean, it had to be this way. Messi clutching it and bringing the title home for Argentina. Mbappe scores again, becoming the first player to score a hat-trick in the World Cup finals since Hurst in 1966. I don't need to tell you what happens after that when you have this man in penalties. Argentina won 4-2 and claimed the third World Cup title. This World Cup will always be special for football fans. So many great games, amazing storylines, shocking upsets. Messi completed the puzzle, putting an end to the GOAT debate forever. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.